standard object. What are standard objects? What are custom objects, right? And some of the standard objects which sales user uses, which is account, contacts, opportunity, leads, all that. Okay. Today we are going to learn about how we can create custom object in Salesforce. So let me share my screen. So what we are going to do is we are going to create two different objects. Okay. First is position object. Position object is to track all the positions, okay, in all stages of the process. So from open position to which have been filled or cancelled. Okay. So first object is position object, and second object will be candidate object. So it is for to track all of the candidates who apply for a particular position. Okay. So in candidate object, we are going to store the information about the candidate who are going to apply for any particular position. Okay. And we will also maintain their status as well, status of application, whether they have like phone screen or schedule an interview, rejected or hired, like that. Okay. So let's create a first object, which is position object. So for that, you'll have to go to the screen, this setup screen. Okay. Right now I am on the setup screen, but if you are on a particular application, okay, then you'll have to click here and setup here, this one, and setup. Okay, that's it. You need to click on setup, then the setup page will appear, and from here you can cut. So what I'll do, click on object manager here. Okay, in the object manager you will be able to see the object information, all the objects which are currently present in here, or that object information you will be able to see in object manager. Okay, whether it is standard or custom object. So right now you can see the list of all the standard objects here. Now we are going to create our first custom object. So for that, click on this create and custom object. Okay, now I will give the label as position. Okay, object name will be position. It's the unique name. Okay, so whatever you will write here, that will automatically show in the object name as well. And now we'll have to give some plural name. So here example is also given. So let's say that if you are creating an object name account, then the plural name will be accounts, right? Because when you are on the screen of an application, okay, that time, as you can see here, you can see accounts, contacts, leads. Okay, it's not only lead or opportunity, it's opportunities. So it's a plural label. Why? Because we have so many records in this, right? So we'll have to give plural label, which is positions. Okay, so our name is position and plural label is positions. Okay, now enter the description why you are creating this particular object. This object stores information about open job positions at our company. Now, if you scroll down here, you can see enter record name label and format. So here we have a record name, okay, which is position name. By default, it has taken as position name. So what happens is, if you go here, click on account, and if you create account, so the first information which you have to enter here is account name, right? Account name you have to enter over here. Without that, you cannot create account. So it will be unique name. So exactly similar here as well. Okay. It will be the field, okay, which will be named as position name. And the data type will be text, so that we will be able to, our user will be able to enter value in that text box. Okay. So like account name, we have here position name. Okay. If you want for your custom object that your field should be, or name field should be auto number, you can do that. From here, we have to change the data type to auto number. But as of now, we don't want that, right? We only want text. So text will be here. Position name and text. If you want to change the field name, you can change it over here. Okay. I'm not going to change it because it's the same name I want for my field. Okay. Now, if I just scroll down a little bit, here we have optional features. Allow reports, allow activities, and track history field. So these features are, even if you don't select right now, okay, and later on, let's say that there is a business requirement to create a report on this particular object or activities, or let's say that your clients want to track the field history. Okay, so that time also you can always come to this object manager settings. Okay, and you can enable these options. Okay, you can by default enable this if the requirement is there. Otherwise, you can enable it anytime after the object creation. So right now I'm going to select this 3. I'm not going to touch this object classification, okay, and the deployment status. So remember that deployment status is very important. So we have here 2 status, in development and deploy. Let's say that as a system admin, you are creating a new object, right, in the org, and you don't want your users to see that particular object because you are doing testing and something, right? So what you can do is you can select the status as in development. Okay. Once the object is ready, everything is tested. Now you want that your user should be able to use this particular object. So what you will do, you will give access to the users, okay, that this is the object and you have read, write, whatever access it is. But the status is in development, okay, then users won't be able to see that particular object. So you will always have to make sure that once everything is done or created or completed and you want your users to use it, always change your deployment status to deployed. Okay. If it is deployed, then your users will be able to view that particular object in the or access that particular object. Otherwise, they will just complain that we have received the new process training that you have to use the position object, but I don't have access to it. I cannot see. Okay. So here the status will be deployed. I'm not going to make it to in development. And search status will be allowed. Now the last setting is for to add notes and attachment. Okay. So this particular setting is only available when you are creating any custom object from scratch. Okay. Once I save this and I do not select this box, okay, I do not select this box. And once I save this, what will happen? I won't get this feature, okay, for this custom object because this is not available once your object is created. It is something once when you are creating any custom object. Okay, so if I select here right now, I will be able to see notes and attachment related list in my custom object. If not, if I don't select it, then I won't be able to add notes and attachment. And I think in future Salesforce will deprecate this feature as well because Salesforce has introduced a new feature, files. Okay, so files, notes, and attachment work exactly similar, but the only difference is notes and attachment is available only when you are creating any custom object. Okay, but files you can add it anytime. Okay, now everything is done. We have given label, object name, what will be the field name, data type, allow features, okay, deployed status, allow search, nodes and attachment. Now the last setting is to create a custom tab wizard, meaning that you are creating this particular object, but if you are not created any custom tab, then you won't be able to add that tab over here in this particular part. Okay, so Salesforce has already created accounts tab, leads tab, opportunities tab, and that's why Salesforce was able to add that tab over here. Okay, many people make mistake when you create the custom object and save it, and when you try to add it to any application, you say that or people say that I don't see that particular object name in the list. Okay, even though I have created that object. So always remember that when you create a custom object, you'll need to create your custom tab as well. Okay, so we have two options. First is you can directly create it from here. If I select this launch new custom tab wizard after saving this custom object and save this, it will automatically redirect me to create the custom tab wizard. Else, let's say that if you forgot to create this, you don't have to worry about it. What you need to do is just go to the setup. Here, enter tab, click on tabs. Okay. And from here, you can create your custom object tab. Okay, custom object tab, click on new. Once you click on new, you will have here your custom object list. Right now, we don't have because we have not yet created any custom object in the system. Okay, so what happens is, let's say that you have created 5 custom objects. From 5 custom objects, you have already created tabs for 3 custom objects. 2 objects are remaining. So what will happen? Salesforce will only show you those 2 objects for which the custom tab is not created. Okay. So from here you can select tab and you can object and you can create your tab. I'm gonna create it from this settings only. Okay. As soon as I will click on save, it will redirect me to create the custom tab. Okay. And object is also already selected, which is position. We only have one custom object, which is position. Okay. So I selected position, tab style. So if I click on this tab style, Salesforce will show these icons. So from this, I will select any one. Next. Okay. Now the second page is to add profiles. That means which profile should have access to this particular tab. Okay, so by default, I will make it as default on so that all the users or all the profiles in the organization will have visibility to this tab. Okay, I'm not going to change it, but if there is a requirement that only one profile user should be able to view it, then in that scenario, what you need to do, select the second one option, apply a different tab visibility for each profile. You will have to make it this tab hidden, okay, and only on for that particular profile. But right now I don't want it, so I'm going to select this default on for all the profiles. Next. Okay. From here, it is by default adding to all the applications which are currently present in the system. So this tab will get automatically add to the application. Here, as you can see, sales application. Okay, includes tab, yes, and save. That's it. So we just save the object. Now tab is also created. So if you want to see, you can go here in the setup tab. And now I can see position tab is created. Okay, this is important step. Otherwise, you won't be able to see over here. So I'm going to refresh this application. And now a position object is created. Okay, position object is created. Position tab is created. Okay, and that tab is added to the sales application. Okay, so here the details of our position object. API name, plural label. Okay, then these options which we enabled, deployment status is deployed. So as I said earlier, you can enable, disable these options anytime for any object settings. You can directly come here in the position, click on edit, and the exact same page will open, and you can directly select these checkboxes according to requirement. Okay, and you can enable, disable the feature.
I have a question, Amrapali. So when you say deployment status is deployed or the other one, does it mean that, like in layman terms, does it mean that the testing has been done and it has been deployed? Is it what that means?
No, no. As I explained it earlier, if the deployment status is not deployed, let's say that you have tested everything, okay? Because testing will also you have to do as an admin. You need to do testing, you need to give access to your users, okay? You need to make sure that your users have access to the object. Everything is correct, but the deployment status is in development. So system will not show this particular object to users, even though they have access to it, right? So deployment status, that means you have completed all the testing, okay? You have given the access to the appropriate user, and now this has been completed. This object has been completed, and your users can access it or view it with the file. So you'll have to make sure that testing is done, everything is done, and the deployment status is deployed.
Okay, thank you.
Any other question? No? Okay. So these are simple steps. In the assignment also, we will be giving you the exact same steps to create the object. Okay, you will have to follow these steps. And if you don't understand, or if you're not able to create it, okay, you can always watch the recording, try to understand it, okay, and you can create the custom object. So now we have created this custom object, okay. So in the details, we have object settings. Now, once the object is created, that means our table is created, okay. In the table, we have columns as well, but we have not yet created any column. By default, the fields are created which are position name, okay, owner field created by and last modified by. So if I go here and click on new, only these fields will gonna appear: position name, owner name. Once I create any position, created by and last modified by field will gonna appear on the page. So these are all the standard fields which Salesforce has created at the time of object creation. Okay. Without the name field, we cannot create any record for any particular object. Okay. So by default, Salesforce create this name field. Now, once the object is created, now we'll need to add fields as well in the system. As you know, fields is like columns in the database, right? So, fields store data for a record, okay? And by default, Salesforce provides few fields with like standard objects, okay? Those are called standard fields. When you create any custom object, that time also Salesforce create few fields, okay? Those are standard objects. So we cannot delete this standard Salesforce field, okay? If you see over here, we do not have any option. For position name, we have only edit option, but not delete option. So whatever standard fields are there in the system which Salesforce has created, you cannot delete those fields, okay? You can edit this, but not delete this. If you want to change the label, you can do that, but you cannot delete it. Okay, and the fields which we create, okay, for any particular business requirement, okay, that's called custom field. And we can delete custom field in Salesforce. So let's try to create or understand how we can create custom fields. Okay, so right now we are in the object manager, position, okay, and fields and relationship. If you are on this screen, then you will have to go here, setup, object manager, search for that particular object, click on that object, and then fields and relationship. Okay, now we'll create custom object. So first field which we are going to create for this position record is status field. Okay, so for that, click on this new button. Once you click on this button, Salesforce will show this particular page where you need to select a proper data type. So here we have different data types. For example, text. Okay, and Salesforce has also given the explanation for that particular data type. Text means normal, simple text field where you can add a value. So, and it allows users to enter any combination of letters and number. Then we have text area, and the limit is to 55 characters. Then we have long text area. Okay, the character limit is high, and exactly same for rich text area. Okay, the long, it works like if you want to enter in paragraph or multiple lines, that time long text area, rich text area are used. If you want to just enter one word or something like that, you can always create text. Okay, now we have auto number. Okay, then we have checkbox. Checkbox means it will be a simple checkbox where you can select, deselect that particular checkbox. So it allows user to select true or false value. True means check, false means unchecked. Salesforce has also given currency, right? So you can create any currency field. So whatever your or currency will be, that currency will be applied. Then we have date, date time. If you want to create any date time field, okay, to capture date and time, that time we can create this particular field. Email, we have number, first name, phone, okay, pick list. So now we want to create a status field which will have predefined values. For example, new position, pending approval, okay, open, approved, like that. And it will be a drop down field from where you can select one value. So let's go here in the account, select account, and like this drop down field. Okay, so once you click on pencil icon, it will show you some options, and from that options you need to select one value. Okay, so exactly similar field we have to create on position object. So for that I will select this pick list. What it says, allow users to select a value from list you define. Okay, let's say that the requirement is slightly different. When we will predefine value, you just should be able to select multiple values from it. Okay, that time we will select this multi-select list because it allows user to select multiple values from the list we define. But right now, yeah, sure. So when you are on this particular page, you'll need to go here, setup, object manager. Sorry. From here, search for particular object, click on that object, fields and relationship. When you are on this screen, fields on relationship, here we have new button. Okay, so if I click on this new button, data type will get, page will get open. Okay, so from here we are going to select this pick list. That means that we will define some list. Okay, and from that list user will be select only one value. Now next field label will be this, and here I will enter values one by one. Like this, new position, pending approval, open approve. Okay, do not write like this, and pending approval, because Salesforce will consider this as a one word or one line. Okay, so always add your multiple options one by one, exactly like this. So now I have added values over here. You can add description, okay, and you can click on next. Okay, now the next screen is to give access to your profile. So as of now, I'm not going to make any changes over here. As I mentioned earlier, as per the requirement, you need to give the access. So that, let's say that uh, the requirement is only to give access to standard users and Salesforce admin. In that scenario, what you will do, deselect all these check boxes, only select for system admin and standard user. That's it. That means only two profile has access to that particular field. But right now, I'm not going to make any changes over here. Click next. And the last page is to add that particular field in the page layout. Okay. So when you select this, that field will automatically get added in the page layout. If you want, you can click on save. Else you can click on save and new, and you can start creating a new field. I will just click on save. Okay. And you can see the status field is created. The data type is pick list. Here we have in the drop down, edit and delete option is also there. Okay, so we can delete it. Now, I'll just click on status field just to show you the values. And let's go here, position. Click on new. And the status field is now showing on the page layout. So from any values, we can select any value. Okay. Enter position name. Click on save. So our record will be created. Any questions still here?
So Amrapali, we have learned how to create a field. So my question is you have given the position name as SF admin, right? So when I create the field, how do I know that I need to give this name? Did you get my question?
Yes. You are the system admin who will be creating object fields for your users, right?
Yes.
Once the table is created, now users will have to enter values in it. Users will have to create records, right? So your users will create this record. Exactly similar for leads, opportunities, account. Your work is to do the backend job. Okay, front end job will be for your users. So I created this SF admin just to give you an example. That let's say that this for Salesforce admin we have an opening, but according to the requirement, your users will create it.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
No worries. Okay, so let's create a couple of more fields. I'm not going to create all the fields, but only 2-3 fields more. And we will also give you the fields, what will be the data type, okay, all the information in the assignment. Okay, so the second field is open date. So for that, I'm going to select the data type as date. Field name will be open date. Next. This is the page for profile access. Next. And adding it to the page layout. See. and the date is also showing. So you can select any date. Let's say that August 1st. Okay, exactly same. We have to create multiple fields like close date, location, then job description and other fields. Okay, so that all information we have given in the assignments. So you can create those fields, and while creating these fields, if you have any questions, you can reach out to us. So any question on object creation and field creation? No, right? Okay, yeah. Once you will create this object fields in your org, you will have a better understanding. Okay, so remember you need to create two different objects, position object and candidate object. Okay, and fields accordingly. So we will give you guys assignment on the WhatsApp group itself. Download it from there. Okay, and then create the same in your org. And if you have any difficulties or anything, we will see that in the next class. I think that's it for today. So I'm going to stop the screen sharing. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.